This week on the Racer X Show, James Stewart is back in action, and it's straight up domination. Travis Pastrana is back on a bike, but how far would he go? GNCC raced up Ohio, and a new winner and old champ emerged, and we chat him up via Skype. EnduroCross invades Colorado, where it's always unpredictable and exciting. We have Moto news and so much more right now. Hello and welcome to the Racer X Show presented by Chaparral Motorsports. I'm Greg. Thanks for joining us here on our racing highlight and news show. An innovative new motorcycle series that takes the turn out of typical racing, the return of Travis Pastrana with a big bore brute, that's a highlight, and GNCC bar banging action, all on today's ticket. So, let's go.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Visit Chaparral Motorsports online at chapmoto.com.
Okay, today we're going to start you off with something new and very cool. It's called Red Bull Straight Rhythm, and it's a first-time event. Imagine this. You take a drag strip, add 10,000 cubic yards of dirt, that's 1,000 semi-truckloads, spread it out over a half mile, make 80 jumps with 30 feet of whoops, 5 back-to-back tabletops. 800 man-hours later, you put racers side by side going head-to-head in a drag race. Winning 2 of 3 races advances you to the next round, bracket style. Lose 2 in 1 round, and you are done. And in California over the weekend, many racers showed up to make Sunday's Sweet 16, including some big teams and big names from Pro Motocross, in 2 classes, 250 and Open. Taking a look at the bracket for the 250 class, the fastest qualifier was Marvin Musquin, upper left if you're looking for him, with his teammate Justin Hill a close second. Bottom right, Justin Bogle in the mix, Nico Izzy, and more. But near the end of the day, number 1 and number 2 would square off in the final. Ryder's right lane is Musquin on the 25, Hill is in the left lane. This is the second run of a possible 3. Musquin already beat Hill 50.91 seconds to Hill's 51.26. Hill needs this to stay alive. Let's take a listen. In the end, Musquin takes it, a clean 2 for 2. In the loser final, or the race for third, it was Jesse Nelson defeating Justin Bogle to stand on the podium, an all KTM box. But for fast qualifier, number 1 ranked Musquin, job well done.
Everybody worked so hard and they did a fantastic job, and we had really good riders, and they make the competition really tough. But I'm happy about my day. Yesterday I was the fastest, and today I didn't lose any runs. So that was the key, and to be consistent and have fun. And I just can't wait for next year.
In the Open class, someone you haven't seen in a while on a motorcycle, Yoshimura Suzuki's James Stewart was the quickest of them all in qualifying to be the number 1 seed. Number 2, and making his debut on the factory Red Bull KTM 450, Dean Wilson. Also in there, Malcolm Stewart, Justin Brayton, Kyle Chisholm, and Pro Motocross commentator Grant Langston, and more. To the finals we go. It comes down to the number 1 seed, James Stewart, and number 3 seed, Justin Brayton. This is the second race, with Brayton needing to win to stay alive. But even with Stewart's time off the bike, he still can rip these 80 jumps. And when it's all over, the very first Open class Red Bull Straight Rhythm champ is number 7. How about Malcolm Stewart on his private Honda, riding for the 7 brand, beating Dean Wilson, only needing 2 races to do it. So with his brother standing next to him on the podium, how about a word from James Stewart?
It was good to be able to get the first win out here, and I think a lot of riders that see this event it was fun. I had a good time, and hopefully we do it again next year.
Later in the show, we'll have more on Straight Rhythm, on the debut of riders on new teams, teams on new equipment, and the RMzilla from one Travis Pastrana. Only 2 rounds remain to the 2014 AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis. And on Sunday in Ohio, already crowned series champ Factory FMF KTM's Caleb Russell, riding that special KTM 150 2-stroke we told you about, was locked in a battle with 2010 series champ Josh Strangn on his Rocky Mountain ATV MC NFAB AmPro YZ450F. And we know from having Russell on the show last week just how bad he wanted to win. To the highlights. As the green flag dropped for the pros, NFAB AM Pro Yamaha's Paul Whibley and Caleb Russell jumped out ahead of the rest of the field. But it was Whibley again with the $250 All Balls Racing XC1 Hole Shot Award. But when they came around to complete the first lap, how about this? In just his first race back from injury, factory FMF KTM's Charlie Mullins had the lead, with Russell on his tail. But by lap 2, Russell had gotten ahead, and he was leading them all. Meanwhile, Josh Strangn was making his way through the pack after a miscue on the start caused him to take off at the back of the pack. More on that in a bit. So with 2 to go, Strangn was closing in, and the intensity skyrocketed between Russell and Strangn, who was winless this year. Rumors of bar banging and arm waving all around. But in the final pit, Russell ended up spending more time to repair his brake pedal, which allowed Strangn to break free. The battle for third was just as exciting between Ashburn, Mullins, Stewart, Baylor, and JCR Honda's Rockstar Energy's Chris Bach, exchanging positions all afternoon. Ending his XC2 career with a win, KTM supported rider Grant Baylor. He was also crowned with his second straight XC2 championship. Baylor put on a hard charge to top his class by over 4 minutes, while also finishing 7th overall in the day. He'll be on a KTM 450 for the final. So congratulations to Grant Baylor on his second championship, and for sure, a hearty welcome back to the top of the box for 2010 Series champ Josh Strangn, who happens to be joining us here on the Racer X Show as a guest. Welcome, man. It's good to have you on the show. Congratulations on the big win last weekend.
Yeah, thanks. It's good to be on the show, and yeah, it's, man, that win was a long time coming, but it felt good.
Tell us about the long time coming. 2010, you were champ. 11, what happened? Started some struggles, and now it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, the 2010 season went well. It's a long time ago now. It's hard to remember, but yeah, then 2011 was going well, and then we kind of lost some wheels off the truck, and then I ended up breaking my leg, and then I was absent from GNCC 2012 and came back last year, and finally got a win towards the end of the season this year. So it's been a long time, but I've been still having fun and everything, and it's finally good to get a win.
This win, how do you feel now that we're on Tuesday? Is your confidence building back after that big win, or do you feel the same?
I've been feeling pretty good on the bike. The Rocky Mountain ATV-MC Yamaha back 450. I mean, it's been really good. We've made some changes over the summer, and I felt like I've been riding solid the last couple of weeks. So it's I feel confident. Caleb was on a 150, so he's the champion for a reason. He's the best rider this year. He proved it on the weekend. He rode that little bike pretty damn good, and I was happy I could get a win either way. I mean, he chose to ride that bike, so I'll take the win, and I think that's really all I needed to start winning again. So we got another race in a couple of weeks, and then some confidence going into next year for sure.
You mentioned Caleb, bit of a ruckus when you guys pulled into the pits. What went on the course between the two of you?
It was just a racing incident. Everyone knows he was on a small bike that's underpowered, and I caught him there towards the end, and he was riding good, and he's on the slow bike, and he's trying to protect the line. And he came into me a couple of times. One time he came into me in a dangerous section, a little bit harder than probably what I think he meant to, and what I wanted, but it was fun. I was looking, like, I knew I was catching him. I was like, man, this is going to be fun racing him. And I knew I was going to have more power, so I figured it was a bit of fun. And then he hit me a little hard, and I was like, man, I'll stay away from that. And, he had to pull in for fuel, and that was it for the end of the race. But it was not too bad. I think he's a good competitor, and he can be aggressive at times, but I guess that's just how he races.
Well, Josh, we're glad to have you back on top of the box, and we look forward to this final race of the season and seeing how your confidence builds. And we expect you back next season?
Yeah, next season I'll be back GNCC racing. No final plans yet, but yeah, I'll be back for sure. So I need to get another championship.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for being here on the Racer X Show, and we look forward to speaking with you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Hard to believe it's been 8 years since we last saw Travis Pastrana compete at an outdoor national, and 5 years since he tried to qualify for a Supercross. Yet there he was last Saturday at the Red Bull Straight Rhythm, riding a unique one-off Suzuki RM500 built by the guys at Service Honda and dubbed the RMzilla, trying to advance through the brackets. Even though it's been a while since we've seen him compete, Travis made it into the Sweet 16 and even took one of the 3 rounds from Josh Hansen, which he celebrated in typical Travis fashion with a massive backflip after the finish line, before ultimately becoming eliminated. Of course, that loss didn't faze Pastrana's enthusiasm one bit.
That first rhythm section kicks my butt. I'll tell you, I haven't hit a backside the whole time, but it was awesome racing against Hansen and just being on the bike. And thank you guys, man. Crowd's cheering so loud. It's awesome to be back on the bike. I was, obviously hoping for a little bit more, but expecting a lot less.
Good to see you out there, Travis. We hope to see you back next year. We now move to the Geico AMA EnduroCross Series, where Rockstar Lucas Oil JCR Honda's Colton Haker took his 2nd win of the year in front of an excited crowd in Denver. Haker's win shook up the point standings with factory Red Bull KTM's Tadej Blazusiak, and Haker tied for the lead, and Beta Geico Stillwell Performance Cody Webb only 1 point back in 3rd. When the gate dropped, it was Haker squeezing his Honda 450, collecting the Nexen Tire $500 hole shot award. But Blazusiak was right there and grabbed the lead before the end of lap 1. He'd lead until about the halfway point when a small mistake allowed Haker to take over the lead and never look back. Behind the front 2, Taylor Robert and Cody Webb were in a brutal early race battle, but around the halfway point, Robert went down, leaving 3rd to Webb. The race settled into a fast pace as Blazusiak would gain a little on Haker, only to have Haker find some speed and keep him at bay. So that's how they'd finish up with Colton Haker taking his 2nd win of the year. As I mentioned before, the championship is all tied up, and we're at the halfway mark. If you get a chance, you've got to go check out this racing. Right here on RacerTV.com, we're putting up the entire season of the Mountain Dew ATV MX National Championship. We've already posted 4 of 10 shows, and today we're posting up a couple more. Now rounds 4 and 5. 22 minutes and 30 seconds of commercial-free ATVs that look something like this.
Squeezed off on the inside. Natali for the lead. Upperman going for it. Upperman now going after Hetrick. Hetrick with a mistake. What has happened? Can't make it happen. He does now, though. Shooting across the inside. Rastrelli held up. He's got some work to do also. And he's not wide out. Oh, Rastrelli! Just out jumping Natali and pushing him off the track.
Well, we've been telling you about the remastered races of this year's Rocky Mountain ATV MC AMA National Motocross Championship presented by AMSOIL at Loretta Lynn's, and we're putting up 14 races a week for 4 weeks. And right now, here on RacerTV.com, we've put up another 14 races, and the action looks like this.
TV Racer broadcast here, and Lucrucio just about endos
in a 16th place position, actually maybe up to 15th at this point. Most certainly, and it's got to be a big confidence booster for him to be able to come out here and perform against these guys. He and also the 38 of Tanner Stack, Caleb has got. Here we go. Reynolds is by the announcer's deck. Make that happen, and while we were out there.
And Henry Miller has closed.
But I hope for the best from this one.
Want to get out and watch some racing? We want you to before that cold spell comes back. The final of the AMA Pro Flat Track Series to determine a 2014 Grand National Champion is happening in Pomona, California. Saturday night is date night at the track. Also, EnduroCross is in Salt Lake City, round 5 of 8. You don't want to miss that. And if you happen to be in Japan, head on over to Motegi for MotoGP. Only 4 rounds remain in that one. A quick congratulations to USA youngster Jason Uribe, the 15-year-old locked up 3rd in the British Superbike Series Moto 3 Class Championship, first American to do that, and to James Rispoli, who got his 2nd podium of the season in the hotly contested British Super Sport Series, 3rd on Saturday, both at Silverstone. Go USA!
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Visit Chaparral Motorsports online at chatmoto.com.
Well, that's it for now. We hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. Check us out on all of our social media links. Twitter and Instagram is @RacerXShow. On YouTube, you can like us at The Racer X Show. Follow us and do all that kind of stuff, okay? And you can follow me personally on Twitter. It's @GregWhite. For the fine crew here at the Racer X Show, presented by Chaparral Motorsports and Racer TV, I'm Greg White. Remember, we are all racing all the time. See ya.